recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here on one issue and three amendments. And those amendments are Amendment 350, which is Rosendale Griffith. Rosendale has already spoken today on his amendment. And then two Griffith amendments. They all deal with the same problem. Those are numbers 931 and 943. And what the problem is that there's language. It's never been used. I even got letters one time from DOJ and Department of Defense saying they'd never used it. But the technical language says that somebody can be picked up, an American citizen can be picked up on American soil, and if there's an allegation by the military that they have assisted one of the terrorist organizations, the language says that was connected with 9/11, but we've seen that language used very broadly over the last 10 or 15 years, that they can then be held until the end of the conflict without any of their civil liberties. At one point in time, then Chairman Goodlatte tried to get habeas corpus added in. Senate took it out. It's I believe, on its face, an unconstitutional provision that says an American citizen on American soil can be picked up and held without any hearings whatsoever. So Rosendale's amendment takes American citizens completely out of it. My two amendments, one of them puts in knowingly, so that there's a scienter requirement, a mens rea, so that you have an obligation to establish at least that they knowingly knew they were assisting a terrorist organization, and the government would at least have to prove that. And 943 just says that it only applies to American citizens. So the first of my amendments that I named would cover everybody, even non-American citizens. The second would cover American citizens and just say they have to knowingly know that the people were engaged in activities of terrorism and that they were assisting them for that cause. It appears, based on the intelligence that I have, that the underlying committee probably prefers the Rosendale amendment. I'm fine with that. My problem is that because it is so blatantly unconstitutional on its face, I can't vote for the bill without one of these amendments being adopted. I yield back.
Mr. Griffith, let me just ask you if I could, because I admire your tenacity. You've been after this for as long as you've been here.
Yes.
What's the restriction that doesn't allow you to be successful? Where's the breakdown here?
It's always been a mystery, and sometimes it's been that they didn't want to open up that section of the code to possible other amendments. There's just always been a hesitation, and part of it is because it's never been used. It hasn't seemed that it was, that it was timely or ripe, or there were lots of other more important things. Unfortunately, I think that you shouldn't leave something on the books that's that out of whack with our principles, and that it should be corrected and we get it right on the books. And I'm not saying that you take away that provision completely. I'm just saying an American citizen, and particularly on American soil. Now, the Rosendale Amendment just says any American citizen. But my feeling has always been an American citizen on American soil ought not to have the military have the right to say, we think you assisted a terrorist organization, therefore we're going to hold you in custody indefinitely or until the conflict is over. Well, as you know, this conflict's been going on since the AUMFs of 01 and 02. Now, it's never been used, and that's to be a compliment to our justice and DOD folks. But why have it on the books when it's not being used? It doesn't appear to something they need, a tool they need, and it's blatantly unconstitutional. So I can give you my examples that I've always given about the man who unwittingly gives the neighbor a ride to the courthouse, not knowing that the giant briefcase he carries, which I used to carry when I was practicing law, contains an explosion, an incendiary device of some sort. And then they're held, and they really have no actual knowledge that their neighbor, who they met maybe once at a community picnic, was a part of Al-Qaeda or ISIS or the Taliban. And I just think it's abhorrent and needs to be pulled out, and it is, just on its face, blatantly unconstitutional.
So, refresh my memory, you've brought this amendment.
I've brought various versions of this over the years, trying to answer concerns by various staffers. It appears now that the Rosendale Amendment is the most favored, and I think that's great. I don't have any problem with that. I just want the problem fixed. And so if it's the Rosendale, I did get my name added onto it, so it's now Rosendale Griffith. But if the Rosendale Griffith Amendment is the one y'all want to send to the floor, I'm thrilled. I'm just thrilled to get a chance to maybe finally fix this problem once and for all and
I
move
admire your
forward.
tenacity. I have no other